Right. Nalini, thank you for joining us and giving us all the legal details of what went down and why this verdict was historic. I just want to now put the focus on a few good women, and we are saying that because they fought the good fight for Bilkis. You can call it the women's movement coming in together and supporting Bilkis through her most trying of times. Most of them didn't know her, didn't know where she came from, but came together to hold her hand through this legally, some financially. I want to cut across to them. I have with me Dr. Miran Chadha Borwankar, former police commissioner Pune. She's been one of the petitioners in this case. Some of these women have banded together and they petitioned the court after these men were given remission to question why were they given premature remission, and now it's come full circle with the court revoking that remission. I also have with me Professor Roop Rekha Verma. She's an activist in the Bilkis Bano case as well as a petitioner in the same. Indira Jai Singh, senior advocate, Supreme Court of India. She fought the case for petitioner Mahua Moitra. Subhashini Ali, senior leader, CPIM. She herself has been a petitioner in this case. I'd like to begin with Ms. Indira Jai Singh. Ma'am, first up, congratulations. And I have to say, for a lot of women who looked at what was going on with horror and disdain, today's been a stunning verdict. You fought it for petitioner Mahua Moitra. Do you believe it could have happened because a lot of people somewhere down the line were losing faith? Do you think that has been reinstilled today?
I did believe it would happen. You can tell the trend of how decisions are going during the course of arguments. But apart from that, one of the judges who delivered the judgment, don't forget, delivered the dissenting judgment in the demonetization case. So we knew that we're dealing with a judge who has the courage of her convictions and would stand up for it. I did not give up, ma'am. I never give up on any case, never, ever.
Courage of conviction, yes, Ms. Jaising, but it's a tad bit ironic because today this historic, stunning verdict has come out and Bilkis Bano is not at home because she was fearing a backlash. But that aside, such a strong judgment comes especially in the indictment of the Gujarat government. Can you take us through that?
Sure. Let me tell you that this is what I would describe as an extraordinary judgment. Why do I say it? Because the Supreme Court has overruled its own previous judgment, which happens very rarely. Okay. Now, why did they do it? That's the question. As I told you, it's not done. Why did they do it this time? Because they came to the conclusion that the petitioners, that is the convicts in this case, had committed a fraud on the court in the previous judgment. They had concealed the fact that they had already applied to the state of Maharashtra. They concealed the fact that the CBI gave an opinion against them. They concealed the fact that the trial court judge said, do not release them. All this was not mentioned in the petition they filed in the Supreme Court, on the basis of which they got a direction to the Gujarat government to decide the case. So, it's not often that the court recognizes the fraud that people play on the court. It's also very significant because the court has said the state of Gujarat actually knew that they did not have jurisdiction because they said so in their affidavit. And yet they didn't bother to file a petition for review. So they said the state was complicit. And last but not the least, a plea was made to send them back, and not to send them back to prison. And they said, why don't you exercise your extraordinary power to do justice? And it is here that you see the most interesting part of the judgment, where the Supreme Court says, look, justice is meant to uphold the rule of law, not to undermine it. And so we do have an articulation of what is justice. We also have an articulation of what is the rule of law. I think it is a history-making judgment, but certainly I'd like to say, are you aware that I was representing Mahua Moitra, not Bilkis, but it is the collective strength of the women's movement that has resulted. You asked about giving up. It is the women's movement that never gave up. And they persisted, they protected Bilkis almost with offense. Not allowing anyone to access her, not even the media. And it is that, approach of the women's movement, realizing the importance of the issue, realizing that gang rapes had taken place during a period of pogrom, communal violence, and that they were crimes against humanity. It is the women's movement that recognized that. And that is why I think this judgment has come as such a great, victory for the movement. It's a victory for the movement, not for me, not for you. And it's great for the whole of India.